Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be sharing with you all these beautiful jewelry pieces that I got in a big lot from an antique shop. It's about 20 pounds of jewelry, you guys, and I can't wait to share it all with you. It's so pretty, lots of pretty pearls and crystals and jewelry bits to play with. So if you like this type of thing, just keep watching. And let's get started. So today we are going to be looking through 20 pounds of pearls and jewelry pieces, antique pieces. You guys, this is a lot to go through, but I wanted to film it so I can remember some of the things that I have, and also I just love sharing these types of videos with you guys, and I hope that you will enjoy seeing all of the ideas that I share with you and just some visual things that I come up with as I look through these pieces. So I got this at an antique shop. It came in a big Ziploc bag and I bought it for one price, and I was really excited because I didn't look at it yet, and I just took it out of the bag and put it in this tray. And so this is going to be fun to look through it. I hope you guys are all doing great and having some crafty time. I'm so excited. So let me just show you. These are pearls. They're already cut off the string, and you see they have this little loop here. All you have to do is take your tool. Do I have my tools? Let's see. You take your tool and you just unloop it. You just take the loop right here and you unloop it. Oops, let me turn it the right way. And once you do the loop like this and you bring it forward, you pull it off like that. You take how many you want, right? But I usually only get like 30 or 40 in a strand. And then I push them back like this, and then they are ready to go to add to a bulb pin, garment pin. And then this is what I do with them once I take them apart into pieces. I have these types of pieces here, and that's ready to go. And then all I have to do is add my pearls and my charms to it. I use garment pins. They're called gourd pins. You can find them anywhere, just about. They're everywhere. So these are all ready to go. And then I also have these that I took apart from one of my other jewelry pieces that I showed you guys in a previous video, and I put them on the garment. I call them garment pins. I put them on the garment pins, and then you see they're all ready to go, and they have the crystals and they have the gray crystals. So what I would do is take these three and use this part here with the chain and these three, and then put these on something else because they're a different color. But those are really fun. I found these at a thrift shop a while ago, and I finally got those sorted out, and I just have them ready to go. So when I need one, I just attach them to my coffee bags, or I put them in my envelopes and have one sticking out. You know, as I do, I showed you guys these bags that I use, and then I also use the envelopes. So you can use whatever you want, but to have these ready to go, it's good to use the pins so you have them ready to go. And this is mostly for the new ladies who don't know what to do with the jewelry pieces, because I think a lot of you guys do. But anyway, so that's what I would do with these type of strands. I would take them apart and I would use the pieces from each one. And I don't usually use more than one because they're pretty chunky on their own. So they make a nice little dangle. So that's one. Let's see. Okay, so these are going to be a little tangled because I put them in this bowl. Let me see here if I can untangle them. Give me a second, you guys. I literally just laid them in here and they got tangled just sitting in the bowl. Crazy, isn't it? So as I'm looking at these pieces, you guys, I'm already imagining what I could do. And with Christmas coming, these would be so fun to use in Christmas decorations. Let me see. I think this is clipped. Let me unclip this right here. And depending on how much this goes through on the video, I may edit some things out, but we'll see. Okay, so let's start with this big piece here. So we have this one here, and look at the details. So we've got these gorgeous pearls right here with the pieces on each side, the spacers right there and right there. And then you have this long chain All of this chain can be used in making dangles, but look at this, you guys. Look at the details on this. So we've got small, medium, and large. You see that? Can you see how pretty these are? And here they're shining. They're really beautiful pearls, and they're heavy, so they're nice quality pearls. They're probably glass pearls. But anyway, those are really pretty, you guys. And I could see making ornaments. This would also look good on my dress form, on display, but I definitely will be using these in more dangles. So that's that one. This one here, I don't know that I would use all these pieces together like this, but I would cut these up and take these individually and make dangles out of the individual rice pearls. And I've put these in kits before, but these are really fun to use on your garment pins. You know, just put them on the edge of the pin as a decoration, you know, add them to the garment pins or whatever. So there's that one. And then there's this one. All of these are so far, they're beaded, so these are fun because they're what I call chain beaded, because they're already done for you. You don't have to do anything but take them apart. And then you have this one. This one is all on wire, I think. Let me see. It's tied and it's on wire. Oh, it's just tied. Okay. And then these all can be taken off. There's a crystal there and a crystal here. So this would be basically just beads. So you could use these sea beads for shakers because they're really tiny. Or you can restring them all. I don't think I'm going to do the restringing thing. That's just too much work for me. And I have lots to make here, so. Okay, this one here. Oh my goodness, these are pretty. So I would take these off and use this part as a charm dangle right here. I would take off like maybe this right here, like maybe 1, 2, or 3, maybe 3. And then this would come apart. It has this really pretty like yellow stone. It's like an amber yellow. And it looks vintage. It's got the aging on it. And then look at that heart. It's very aged. Can you see that? That's really cool. And then this white bead. It's heavy too. And the pearls are kind of lightweight, but look at all the pieces of pearl you have there. So if you took 4 or 5 of these different styles of pearls and put them together, that would be really pretty as a dangle. Okay, there's that one. And let's see. That one's all the way at the bottom. This is a lot, you guys. A lot, a lot. I love vintage jewelry so much, though. I don't think I'm ever going to stop buying it because it's just so pretty. Okay, this one's on a string, and it's really pretty cream pearls. And then this one here is just like a amber color bead. Kind of cool looking. I thought it was black, but it's amber color. Okay, and then this one is black and gold and gray and taupe colors. Well, it's not really gray, it's more taupe. Almost tones of brown, and then they're all with the spacer beads, or spacers in between. That's nice. That's a lot of spacers. So you could take this apart and redo it too. But I wouldn't do that. I would just take each little individual hook and maybe just go like this, take it apart, and then you have like a pattern here. So 1, 2, 3. You would have 1, 2, 3 there. And then you can make, actually you could do it this way and you'd have a small bead. You could start at the top this way. You see that? And then you would add something to the bottom, a dangle or a crystal would be really pretty to that. Isn't that pretty? Those are really pretty. So when I take these apart, I usually look and see how many I can make out of one set. And as you can see, these are all little beads. So I would take these off individually and use them in different colors. So this is the beige here, like a taupe, and then it gets darker and then darker. You see that? So you've got some small, medium, and large, but you got mostly the smalls, which I love the smalls. These are my favorite because they work with so many dangle pieces. Love it. Okay, this one here is just pearls with gold chain, and you can use all these gold chains for dangles. And these are great for just taking this part and this part. Let's see if I show you. I wasn't going to take things apart, but it doesn't make sense if you don't know, right? Let me start over there. These are some tiny, tiny little loops. But if you take the loops off, you have this type of chain here. See that? And you could leave it with the two loops on there and have the chain, or you could take it apart and use the chain. And these make great pieces for dangles as well. So this right here would be a dangle. This one, so on. Pretty, pretty. They look great in your journals, as your journal covers need a little bit of sparkle, right? When you're making journals. Okay, this one is on wire, and it has all these pretty end caps. You see those end caps? Look at this one. Ooh, this is pretty. This one might be hard to part with two. I may have to, like, you know, borrow some, because there's not that many of those on there. This is probably just a special project where you take one, you take another bead, and you add a simple bead on the bottom, because this is really sparkly, gorgeous. Love those rhinestones and that gold bead. Let's see how many you get. You get 2, you get 4, 6. You only get 6 of those beautiful caps right there. See that? Gorgeous. Love that. So when you take stuff apart, you really get to see the value of everything. I can't believe people part with this stuff sometimes. Okay, this is a collar type necklace that someone made with seed beads, and it's on a piece of tulle. It looks like it's sewn. That is a lot of work, you guys. So this I would use for a journal cover and just tie it around the journal. Let's see. I have a future project coming up with this. I can't wait to play with that. That's going to be my Christmas journal cover. It's a embossed bag, you guys. Yeah, I've already started playing with it to decide what I'm going to do with my Christmas journal that I'm doing. December daily that I talked about in my last video. Anyway, so you could do something like this and tie this in the front and then tie it on the side or in the back. And that makes a great cover, doesn't it? I like using necklaces as journal covers. I just think it's really, really pretty. Okay, we'll set this aside in case I need that. All right, so here's a black necklace, and what I would do with this is, look at all these tiny pearls. Now these are great for your garment pins, just to decorate those, or individually make up necklaces. I would take all of these beads apart and redo them. So I would take the black out, because I don't use black a lot, but I do have some projects with black. And then gray, you have the gray separate, and then the pearls. And they look like really nice quality pearls right here. And they're just on a little string. Okay? That's pretty. Okay, let's take the pink ones out and see what those look like. These are just plain pink pearls. Nothing in between. It's still pretty just the way it is, and there's lots of pearls on here. These are not, they don't feel like glass pearls, but they're nice enough when you put vintage with lightweight things. So I think that's the only pink thing I got in the whole set. And then these little rattles here, I heard this rattling and I had to look at it next. So this is, look at this, you guys. This is one of those necklaces that you clip on with this chain, and it's rose gold. You see that? Look at all that chain. Love it. So I'm going to push this back. It's making too much noise. So what you would do here, you see all these beautiful beads. Look at that gorgeous bead right there. I don't know if this is a druzy. It reminds me of type of a druzy bead, but I was really intrigued by that bead. So there's a small one and then a bigger one. These two. So there's two small and two big ones. And then on the ends here, there's two small and then another big one. Oh, those are so pretty. But this right here would be a beautiful dangle, just like that. And then add a little crystal to the bottom here, a charm, anything. You could add a flower. You could add a applique. I love adding appliques to my work too. So yeah, that's really pretty, isn't it? And then these beads are like a cream and an orange, kind of a, I don't know what you call that color, orange, but it's like a really pretty burnt color. And then all that chain is amazing. So you could take your cutters and cut all the chain up. And that's going to be so fun to play with. So I may have to come back and make some stuff with that on camera. Okay, this is a chain, but it has individual pieces in between. They're all the same. So that makes a lot of dangles as well. And then the separation is nice because it has chain in between. So if I did like that right there, and then 3 pearls at the bottom, and then undid this right here, let me show you. If I undid this one here and pulled this off, that would give me a piece like that, and then that would be a nice dangle. You don't want your dangles too long, but something like that would be really pretty. And then this is your top where you would put the garment pin at the top here. So you would start here, and there would be your dangle. Isn't that pretty? And it's black, which is really nice to go with the black pieces. Yep, I like that. All right, so let's see. I'm just digging. Now I'm digging because it's all messed up. Okay, this is gold chain and pearl. Now, I think this is like a Trifari or something, but back in the day, this is kind of the stuff I used to wear in the 80s, right? But for us, this is dangles. But these right here, once you cut them, they're going to come apart. So either you use it as a journal cover and add some charms to it or something. It doesn't even fit on a journal, it's too wide. But you could use it as a piece in your journal hanging out, or you could use it, this is pretty tall, so your journals aren't normally this tall, I don't think. But if you wanted to gift it, you could just put it in the journal and have it hanging out with some charms hanging down. And that would be a cute little purse holder, wouldn't it? That would be a cute purse holder there. Like a clutch bag type of thing. Although we like our clutch bags a little bit fancier than that. Isn't that so pretty though? I love that. Okay. So there's that one. I got to get started on my journal, you guys. I'm really procrastinating on the Christmas. And I said in one of my videos I really wanted to get ahead of it, and I need to because it's already the middle of November. My goodness. I don't know if you guys your time is flying, but mine sure is. Okay, this one here is another one inside there. Okay. So this is that wire. I think we all have owned this type of necklace. It's called like illusion, where it's a wire and then these are those crimp beads on each side. To me, these are not very useful as journal pieces. But you could take the wire and loop it and then make it into, you'd have to glue it together with something, right? Like E6000, but you can make it into like leaf loops, and you could use these in the journal and just have them sitting on a page, you know, as a tuck-in type of thing. So if you wanted to tuck it into your journal, you could just make it into the loop there, cut it off, and then, you know, glue it on, and you have little pearls hanging out. And you also have the crystals too, so you could do the same thing with the crystals. Other than you could cut them off and use the crystals as they are. But you could do something like that and put them on the journal too. Or you could do circles, whatever. But it's just a cute way to add to your journal covers if that's what you like to make. Okay. I'm always saying journal because I always make things for journals, but some people that watch my channel don't even make journals. So we have to have other ideas, right? Okay, so here's the black and pearl, which is very classic looking. And then it has these cool beads right here. You see that? It's like a spacer type of thing that would make a nice little connector kind of thing. So yeah, if you take this, see if I can get close enough for you guys. You may have to break it, but that's okay because we're not using these to wear. And then you'd pull it off this thing. Can you see that little loop there? If you have an O-ring or a garment pin, all you have to do is hang it on the garment pin. I don't think I have a garment pin over here to show you. They're all put away right now. Anyway, but you take your garment pin and you have this piece here, and then you have it all the way to this end right there. You have a dangle, and then you start over again. You see? So each little section is a dangle piece. So you can go as long as you want. Of course, you can add these to other things like bookmarks, ribbon clamps, all kinds of different things you could do with these. Love that. Okay. Let's go with, what's this one here? Okay, so these I thought were really neat. Look at this cluster right here. So all of these can be taken off individually, and they have individual pieces in between. See that? So it dangles. I love looking at jewelry to see how they make it and then recreate my own idea. So instead of having all these crystals, I would individually take these crystals out and I would add other beads in there. But it is really pretty like that. But you have almost like 4 of these. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. So you have 4 pieces in the crystal part, and you can use those for, another section. So there's 4 there, 4 there, 4 here. There's some in between the pearl. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have 4 clusters. So you have 16 of those crystals to use. And they look cute just dangling on a garment pin as well, just a topper. Or an O-ring. Or a paper clip. Yeah, that's a lot of things you can make with that. Okay, this one here. This is another one of these type of chains. Let's see if this all comes together. So pretty. I used to wear stuff like this, you guys. And back in the day when I was in the 80s, I would wear this type of stuff. I'm really showing my age now. But these little crystal pearls. Pearls were my favorite. And any type you could get that you could just layer up. These are the layered look type of things. And these are the ones I love to cut up now and use in dangles. This one's all tangled up. Let's see. So you have this crystal and pearl here. So you have this kind of chain going there, right? Then you have this one. So all these can be cut individually. And then you just have the plain chain, which I love because it has this brass look to it. And then you have the bigger pearls here. You can get a lot out of this one necklace. This you would have to cut up and use the pearls, but it's individual on a string. Isn't that so pretty though, you guys? I love it. Don't you love this kind of stuff? You'll have to comment and tell me if you love pearls. I love pearls so much. My mom was a pearl lover too as well. These are so heavy, you guys. I almost want to say this is Trifari, but yep, it is Trifari. I used to buy Trifari jewelry too a lot, but look at the quality on this. And these are heavy, heavy pearls. These are really pretty. So I would take one of these little crystals and maybe a pearl here, and then I would just individually cut them into pieces by 3s or 4s, depending on how it looks. So right there, if you just took 3 of them and you unhook it, this is hard to do a haul and not play, you guys. So I'm kind of just winging it here, just playing along. So it comes with these little caps. You see the cap right there? Little silver cap, or forget what you call those things. Bead cap. So then now you have this cute dangle. So you can go tiny and then bigger. And always add something to the loop. And this is good to add. You can add lace in there and have a little tassel coming through that. That would be so cute to make a tassel out of that. And then you would just individually cut the chain how long you want it. And then you have this like that. Or you could just cut it right here and you'll have each little individual piece. So there's that one, that one. So you have different styles. Like this is a round and that's a round. This is a crystal. So just visually look at it and see which way you like it to go. And then just take the loop apart and then you have a whole new look for your dangle. Okay, this one I thought was really interesting. I don't think I would ever use this chain. These links are huge, but you never know. There might be something I could use it for. But my idea with this was, I'm going to show you. I got to grab a tool real quick though. Let me grab my big tool that cuts, and I'll be right back. So I have these big tools. I got these at Michael's and I use these to take the bigger stuff apart. So I would, you see right here where this little clip is? There's like this little metal, like a wire here. And I thought maybe I could take this apart. I don't know. We'll see here. There's like a little clip. This might take a little bit more effort than I thought. But let's just see if I can take it apart. I'm studying it, you guys. As I'm taking this apart, what do you think? What do you think about this? Isn't this strange looking? Look at that. I didn't even need my tool. It just came right off. So this could be, like this, could be a dangle. See if they all come off. That would be cool. I wouldn't have to worry about it then. I just kind of turned it and then it just popped right off, you guys. I must have clipped it right when I clipped it. I clipped it like right there and then I pulled it and it came off. Now this is dangerous right here. Let me hold it with this. There we go. Look at the glue in there. You could see the glue holding the pearls in. But this is a cool idea. If you have something with holes in it, you could add a bunch of pearls inside. And this would make a pretty dangle with another like cluster. So there's loops inside here. You see the loops? You have to find a loop that's open. See right there? There's a loop that's open. So I could take one of my pearls from my necklace, one of the necklaces here, and it could be a dangle. That's cute, right? Two-toned. Let's try it. All right, so let's take these loops off. And we're going to take this loop and we're going to see if this works. I'm looking for the loop not by the glue here. See if there's one that's not close to glue. See the glue right there? You can kind of see it. Yep. This is what I would do. I would put it, I gotta open my loop up a little more. And sometimes when you want to craft but you can't get a project done, playing in jewelry is my happy place. I love playing in jewelry. You see that? now I have made a dangle, a fun dangle, you guys. And so this would be the front. I would put a flower, so, or a piece of lace there. You know what else would be cute? A button. A big button would be really cute there. Let's see if I have a big button. Just to show you. I have a whole bunch of buttons to show you guys too. I need to do that in another haul video because, yeah, see, a button would be so cute. That one's a little big. But see, that would be the back side. I always like to cover the front and the back. To cover, I call it covering the mechanics. So you got that there. Isn't that so cute? If I had my glue gun on, I'd glue this on and we'd be done, but you get the idea. That's so cute. Love that. All right, I'm gonna put that back there. So that's this necklace. And look at how you wouldn't think to do anything with this, right? But you get 4 dangles out of it. So that's fun. And like I said, the chain I probably wouldn't use. I don't know what you could use this for because these links, I don't even know how you take them apart. I do like this part. I do like the loops here, and I do like this really nice lobster claw. This is probably a really expensive necklace, whoever that is. But anyway, so that's that. Let's see what else we got here. We're almost finished, you guys. Might get to play. Might get to play if it's not too late. All right, and this one. This is pretty. This one here has these little bars, like, I don't know what you call these, but like a bar here. And these, I think, are on string. Yeah, so this would have to be restrung, but it would be cute to take. These pearls are really nice and pretty. They look real. You would just take a bead and individually put them on a head pin. Those would be fun to do. So you've got the pearls and then these crystals. I think I can probably clean them up with some baking soda maybe, or toothpaste. I've done that before on camera where I've cleaned the jewelry, but I didn't want to do that today. All right, that's a pretty one. Okay, and then here is just a plain pearl. Hold on. It's just plain pearls, knotted, so each one has to be taken apart. Those are fun. Take all those apart. Then we have this one. This one has really nice bars on it. You see the bar right there? So there's pearls, and then there's, so it starts like this. Pearls, and then this right here, and then a bar. This would be fun to cut that into pieces. And so you have the bar and the pearls. You don't get that many on here though. So this would be a small collection. You make 4 or 5 out of this. Out of these pieces. Okay. All right. I thought this one was really neat. I saw it sparkling in here. This is all those, you see the color? It's kind of a golden yellow in between the pearls. And these are all individual pieces you can take off and use. And then this right here could be made into dangles because you have all this here and this one here. So you can make 2 different kinds. You see that? Let's see if this is different. So this one has the gold and the silver, not silver, the gold and the topazy gold pearls, and the pearls. Say that again. Okay, this one has the gold, and this one has the gold and these copper beads, and then this one has all copper beads. Isn't that pretty? So the nice mixture right there, and that would make pretty individual dangles just like that. Like I showed you that this chain here, I showed you these, kind of like that same idea. Uh-oh, I'm all tangled now. So you got this chain here, and you see how those are like that? You do the same thing with this and make it as long as you want or short as you want with the individual pieces. So This would be like 5 to 7. I would do 5 to 7 beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This would be the dangle right here. And then see how many you can make of the dangle, and then you do maybe 5 of this one and maybe 3 of the other with the crystals, like 3 of those. And then hang stuff, you know, hang stuff on the loops. Anyway, I hope you get what I mean here. We might take some apart anyways and play. Let's see, we got a few more here. And then I'm going to check the time and see if it's not too late to play. All right, this one here has these pretty pearls. I love these type of pearls, the teardrop ones. Those are fun. But it only has a couple of those, and then it has the smaller ones. But I still love the teardrop, and those just come right off the chain. So I would just do like this and take them apart. So that way, and then you have just your chain with your pearls in between. You always need a chain to make a dangle too if you want to make several pieces on one thing. And then this would be, so this would be individual by itself like that, and then something hanging there. This one would be this right here. So that would be an individual dangle. If you didn't like the silver bead, you could just take it off and do this, and you'll have all these little pieces. And sometimes these are very expensive on Etsy, you guys. So if you can find necklaces to cut up, these are the best way to get them. See, you can get like 5 or 6 in a little bundle. So that's nice, right? That's pretty all on its own there. Okay, anyway, there's that. Let me get my tools out of here. Put all these back, and then we have one more to show you. Now they're really tangled because I just tangled them all up, but that's okay. Because I'm going to make stuff out of them anyway. It's all right if they're tangled. And then we have that pearl there. All right. Now this one, again, would make a beautiful cover for a journal. And it could go this way and tie in a bow. Now this is a really almost like a gift to a friend, right? It's a heavy duty necklace here. But if you find them at thrift stores, a really good price, you know? That's fun. Look at that. Wow, I like that idea. It could be your spine cover. I might have to use that for a spine idea. But I know me, I'm going to take it all apart, so I'm not even going to do that right now. I'm going to take all these individual ones apart. It's got all this ribbon on here I could use too. Let's see if I can take it and show you what I mean. You see all these individual pieces? These are all dangles, you guys. And it's very hard to find pink dangles that are already done for you like that. So with this one, if I'm looking to get a pink one out of here, I would have to open the loop. And these are tricky, you guys. They're tight in here because they're wrapped around another bar, and then, you know. Now sometimes what I'll do is I'll cut the bars in between and just not even deal with the individual. See, I'll just do this and I'll cut that bar off, and then you have the pearl like that. And actually it doesn't look pink anymore, it looks peachy, but I'm sure it is pink. And then some of those came off when I did that. So you got more. These are heavy too, they're nice. And this is a cute idea where you just take a little bit of ribbon. That's a cute idea right there. And you attach it to a loop. See that? So that you have one loop there, and then you just have a big one and 4 little ones. It makes a little cluster. And you can just tie that around your journal. And that'd be pretty too, just as a piece on your journal. Pretend this is a journal because this is not even started yet. But you could tie it, or you could have it as a bookmark coming out of the book. You could do that. It's so fun to play with ribbon and beads too, and make little things out of it. I love tying things and not permanent, you know. I like to tie things up and not be stuck with it the way it is. That's just my way of doing things. Some people like to bind everything, but I don't. I like to change it. So you see that? You just tie it in a bow. Where did that dangle go? Oh, there it is. And pull this down, and you have a little dangle bead hanging down the side. And it's tied in a knot, so it's not gonna, you know, go anywhere. So cute, isn't it? So simple. Add a few pieces of doilies to that, and that would be so cute on the end of the journal. I might even leave it like that. That's cute. Okay. So that is those right there. Individual little pieces that you could just clip off and use as you need. What I find is that once I look at all my jewelry pieces that I've picked up at thrift stores, antique shops, wherever I get them from, bringing them home and starting to disassemble them helps me tremendously to get the job done. So if I was to get off camera here and just start cutting, I would just start putting things away as I do it as well. All right, so I'm probably not going to do a lot on camera because it would be too long, but all of these individual pieces right here, see the loop? I want to cut the loops but keep some on. So I want to cut like 3 of these, 3 of the loops together. So you start with the end, right? And then I would cut the loop out. So you can cut, or you can just, see? You can cut them, or you can just let them cut them individually, or I mean take the tool and cut them off. Kind of like that idea though, because they're popping off after about 3 of them. They got their own little clusters on here. See right there? So 1, 2, 3. I'm going for the big one here. There we go. So each one I'm getting like a cluster with a pink. That's really cool. And then these individual ones. Let's see how many I can get. I might just speed this up. We'll see how this comes out in the video. I don't want to be too slow doing this. So that one came off 2, a pink one and a white one. I'm cutting every 3. There's another one. So if I keep cutting every 3, I'm going to get a nice variety of pieces. You see that? And then these little things are falling off. So 1, 2, that's the 3rd one right there. I like how they're clustered like that. That's a lot of work to get them to stay on that way too. You see that? So now you have that together. Individual little clusters. And then 1. But when you cut them like this, you don't get as many pieces, because if you're trying to make a cluster, then you know it takes a lot to make a cluster. So let's cut another 3. 2. I love this big cutter, this heavy duty cutter. There's that, and then the little ones. You guys, it is middle of November. I still don't have anything planned for Christmas decorations yet. I know. And I didn't put my pumpkins out either. My beautiful beaded pumpkins. I didn't put them out yet. I need to. What is my problem? Every year this happens with me in the holidays. I think it's because the loss of my family, my dad and my mom, it just is not the same. Holidays are just very simple and quiet. This year, we're going to spend time with my husband's sister. She's 75 and she's alone and she's lonely a lot. And so we're going to bring her Thanksgiving dinner. We're pre-cooking a lot of things and then taking it to her. This will be the first time we're going to her house for Thanksgiving. She just had a huge hurricane hit her house and lost half of her house and had to rebuild the whole thing. So now it's all brand new kitchen and lots of different places have been replaced. Her carpet, everything. It took her a while to get it all done, but she finally got it from the hurricane last year. Okay, and then we have this. This can stay on this ribbon. Like that. I like that. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got 5. We got 6 clusters out of that big chunk. Nope, 7. And then these are all the individual ones that are already looped together. You can see they're looped and ready to go. Love that. So these will go, oh, here's one right here. I said I didn't have one. So these would go in on the, they would go in the individual bags. So what I would do is I would get my garment pins. Oh, you know what? I forgot I have them right here next to my desk. What am I thinking? I have gold and I have silver. Let's see. These are gold, so I like to try to put them with gold stuff. And I do have some silver here too. So I would, a lot of times what I like to do is take the loops and as many as I can fit on the garment pin, I'll do that. Oh, here's what I was going to show you. See how I do this? I put them in the envelopes. If they're too chunky though, it busts the envelope out. So I have to be careful when I put beads inside. But I showed this on my other video, my jewelry video, where I use just junk envelopes. Add a little tape at the top to keep it from, you know, where you bend it. And you add the little bead, dangle whatever inside. And I just tie them on the outside and then I stick them in those white boxes from Hobby Lobby that you guys have seen in many of my videos. But this is really fun to do if the envelope is strong enough. So if you got junk envelopes, you can do that too. But you see that? That's individual beads that I know are in here because the beads are attached on the outside. And I love this method because I see my beads a lot more and I use them more. So these I clustered together right here. These are the individual ones. I can't remember if I showed these on film or not, but these were the ones I got at the thrift store and took apart. And then I tied them on with this little ribbon, and that's what you see here, right? That's this right here all bundled up. I think that's so pretty the way it's looped. And then it has the crystal there. See that crystal? That's just hanging by itself right here. This is individual looped right there. So I know that this is where I keep those. And see my envelopes coming apart because it's a junk mail envelope, but I would put these because that piece is inside. So that piece was outside here. I would put these in here so I don't lose them, one, and because I've already bundled them, they're ready to go and use. Like that. And then these are the ones that I just showed you right here. So that's what I do with a lot of them. And it holds quite a lot in the envelope. You see that? And it's not going to go anywhere inside the double folded envelope because it's folded both ways. So you can do this with just a plain envelope, you guys. You don't even have to have the window. And you don't have to coffee dye them, but I always coffee dye them because they give me that happy feel to see the coffee dye. And you could just use the junk envelope, an individual envelope, and do the same thing. Because I have used junk envelopes too as well. So that idea is fun because you have everything gathered together. So you see this? I'll take this and I'll hang it on one of the loops there, like that. And then I'll have all of these ready to go. Now you can do this with buttons too. You have buttons that are clustered together. You can also do it with string. You can do it, I've done it also with wax thread. That's fun to do because it has a nice feel on the wax thread. So if you don't have these pins or don't want to use your pins, you could just use wax thread or cotton thread or any of the, see all that together now? That holds like 8 bundles here. That's pretty cool, right? So anyway, when you see all these things together in your envelopes, you're going to want to use them because they're sitting there. Also, it looks cute if you just put them in bowls, in trays or whatever. Like I have them in trays, bowls, everywhere on my desk. I'm trying to close this. It's tight now. It's hard to close. Yep. If you have bigger safety pins, you can do it with bigger safety pins too. Should have got a bigger one. These are a little chunky. I'm amazed at these pins, how much they hold though. They really do hold a lot. Well, I don't think I'm going to get this closed. Maybe I should put it on the ribbon and then put it on the garment pin, huh? Let's see. I don't think I could put it on the ribbon. Let's try taking this off and moving it over here, one of these. Also, my hands don't always work too good. Oh my goodness. Getting old, you know? We are all getting old and not able to do the things we used to be able to do. Come on, pen. I don't think I've ever filled it this full. I'm trying to be... There we go. There we go. Okay, so now it's all together. And when you get ready to use it, you have like 7 or 8 clusters here to use, right? And then these right here, the pink ones would go with the pink. Oh, there's another cluster. Let's just put this here. And we'll take all the pink ones and add the pink, because there's not that many baby ones. So you may have to do a few clusters, but what I do is I just put them in the envelope and then they're ready to go. And I hang some on the outside so I know what the cluster looks like. Yeah. Like I said, there's not that many pink ones here, so we don't have to worry too much about it closing. I could play in beads all day long. I could watch TV and play with beads. As long as they have this type of effect and you don't have to put them on a bead pin or head pin, you know, that's the only thing. If you have to put them on head pins, that's a little time consuming. And I like to find the ones that are already done for me. That way I can get creative with what I'm making. So if I want to make dangles with, you know, different things on them, I can. There's that. And then here's the white ones. You get the idea. Now if you have cotton thread, let me show you the idea with the thread. That's really fun too. So I have it in pink in this oatmeal color. For the pink I like to use, if I was using pink, I would do that. And the neutral, I think I have it in the creamy color too, but I'm going to just use this. So if you have these already, it has this kind of thickness to it, and then you can just loop it in the loop and then just make yourself a cluster that way. And those are fun to tie in your journals, just really quick. You can just sit here and string a bunch and have them ready to go, however many you want to put on there, and just do that. If you tie them to ribbon, sometimes it's hard to put ribbon through these, but since this has the wax on it, it makes it easier to make these little things to store your beads. And then you could just put them together this way, and you can make ribbon charms out of them in your journal, or you can make jewelry, of course, with these. Now it's gonna give me a hard time since I've used it so many times, right? Get in there. Oh my goodness. There we go. You see what I'm doing? I'm just stringing it on to the wax thread if you don't want to use the pins. And this is just a fun way to gather everything up quickly as well. And you don't have to worry about sticking yourself with a pin. Let's see. So I got that much there. And it's only taken me a little time to do this part. As long as my thread doesn't come undone. Like I said, you could just watch TV and do this and get a lot of stuff organized. I also do this idea with doilies. I like to take the doilies and put them on the wax thread and keep them together, because you know doilies get lost, especially if they're little doilies. Like I have some that are this little tiny ones. They're that little, and they're even smaller than that, and that's the ones I kind of put on the string, the wax thread, to keep them organized. And then they go in those bags, the coffee bags. I love my coffee bags, you guys. I buy a lot of coffee bags, that's for sure, and it's not for coffee. They're so fun to use in my craft space. I'll put a picture in the description. I'll put a picture up here so you can see the coffee bags I'm talking about, in case you don't know what I'm talking about. But I did a video on the coffee bags and how I use them. And I'm still filling up those bags too. I have some Christmas seasonal stuff in those bags right now. Okay, so here's what we got so far. You see all this is strung on here now? Now I'm just going to do this. Bring it down a little bit. It's making my cluster look really nice. You see that cluster it gave me? Isn't that cool? And then I just tie it off like in a little knot so that I can reuse the stuff. I use this to put in my buttons too when I want to string a button. So I just tie a couple knots, not too tight so I can get it undone if I want to. And then you have it ready to go. I'm just going to use this to cut it. These are heavy duty cutters, so they might not work. Come on, cut. It doesn't like the wax thread. Hold on, let me get my scissors. Okay, now I'm just going to cut this off. Little piece here. So you have this little cluster ready to go. And these are all individuals ready to go. So you have it with the wax thread, and then you also have it with the other. Why is that one trying to get out of there? I have to tie that in a knot again. I must have tied it too soon. Get in there and stay there. And wax thread is really inexpensive to use. I get it on Amazon. There's just about so many different places you can find wax thread though. But I particularly like this one because well, the pink is pretty to look at. This pink is really pretty. And then this is the oatmeal one. It's like an oatmeal color. So that's two ways of like storing your beads. And look, we already have these all gathered together. So then you'll have all these little bitty things you'll throw away, but you won't have much to throw away, will you? And then we also have this. So we could leave this like that, tie it in a bow, and this is ready to go. So we don't lose it. Because I got one already on my journal, see? So I have another cluster. I'm going to add more to that cluster, by the way. I never just leave plain beads like that. I always add tons of layers. Here's another one. This would be a cute idea, just to leave it like this and do journal covers with dangly bits on it with the organza ribbon. I like this. I like that a lot. All right, so there's that one. And let's see. I wanted to play with this because I thought this one was fun to take apart. We already did the pearls, so you know what those look like with that dangle. It came out so cute. See if we can do something with each one, just to give you an idea. So on this one, it's pretty instant. You see that? It's going to be this one, and the big one. And I don't know if I need a little one. So I could go this way, or I could go this way and hang it. I think I'm going to go small on the top to big at the bottom. And this one I'll need my tool. Let's see. Pull this one out. And then we have an instant little cluster like that. And what I would do is finish it off with something at the bottom. I don't like leaving those loops like that. So I would like to put like a closed off pearl or a bead or something, but I don't think I have anything that's, you know, by itself. Isn't that pretty? So there's that one. Okay, let's go to the next one. So this one here, I see big ones like this. This would be so pretty as an ornament on a tree. Just this big one right here. And then I'm going to show you what I would do with this. Since there's so many on here, and there's just a couple of the big ones, what I'm going to do is take these off. There. And there. And then I got to take... See what I'm doing here, you guys? Can you see? Go with this one. Oh, goes that way. So tomorrow I'm going with my daughter. She's doing one of those, what do you call it? She's doing an event for 4 hours, and I'm going to help her do that. Sit with her and keep her company. She has her t-shirt trinket trays and cups, sublimation items, and she's doing one of her events there. It's so fun to go to those events with her. I think she's going to do really well. Let's see. So right here, if I just decide to leave this here the way it is, that makes a cute little dangle right there like this for a chunky journal, but it'd also be cute for an ornament for the tree. And then what I would do is I would add big crystals at the bottom. Wouldn't that be so pretty to put crystals on the bottom? I think that'd be so pretty. So that's what I would do with that one. And then for these, as you can see, these are just individuals. You know what's funny? They have some with the bead caps on them and some with not. That's kind of like how I make them. Because why do you need all that metal in between for heaviness anyways, right? So this one would be like 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be 5. I try to do 3s, 5s, or 7s when I make things. So this one would be looped again at the bottom, and then this is the top. So we have those. We can get quite a few of those in here. I don't think you guys want to see me make all this on camera. But when I get off of camera, I'm going to take all of this apart and play with it. And then maybe I'll show you after I finish everything, taking it apart. That might take me a little while to take it all apart though, but it's fun to do. Okay, then these, I said these were going to be chain and gold. Not that one. This is chain and gold. Yeah. This one here, would take this off. And then you have your chain hanging. So that's your instant piece right there. There we go. I think I have to fix the loop. Yep. You close the loop up. But if you get an idea of how you want to do it, then you can just go back and make your samples, and you'll have all your samples made up, and as you're ready to use them, you have your samples. So that's a sample right there. So, and then also if you get desperate and you need chain to make dangles, make 3 dangles out of this one, you could do that as well. But as you can see, I have a lot of chain, so I don't think I'm going to get desperate to take things apart. I don't think. I may shorten the chains up a little bit, but for right now I'm going to leave them long, because depending on what you're going to use them for, because this is only going to give me like 6 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 pieces out of that one. Okay, so there's that. Did I do this one? Yeah, I did this one already. All right, this one I'm going to take apart, so that one's just going to be all of the pearls. Those gold beads I won't use, those will be donated. I have a friend who's taking stuff to her work and doing classes with her kids. She works with special needs, my friend Amy. So this one here is a dangle just like it is, and I would just take it off the loop. I think I did that one too already. All right. So that one, there goes the dog next door. There's that one. Some chain here. Ribbon. So you have to let me know what you think about this jewelry process here. Do you like it? Do you like to play with jewelry? Is this fun for you? Is this, I don't know, sometimes people get anxiety over jewelry. I love it. Now, tangled jewelry is not my favorite, as I'm tangling all this up. It's not my favorite, but I did it to myself. So this one could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could be 5. Right here would be a dangle. And there's not too many of those big beads. So like I said, I would do individual pieces. And then I would assess if I want to put them together or apart. So these are nice. These have the bead caps on them. Through each one. Wow. What am I doing? This goes here. Right there. Like that. And there's a lot of those darker ones, but I love this taupe color. So I would take all the taupe ones out and separate each individual one. I'm not going to do that with you guys. That's too boring to watch, but you would have 3 different colors. No, 2 colors. I thought it was 3 colors. Well, this one's darker, so that's the colors right there. They go light to dark. So anyway, I'd do those individually as well. And let's see. These I already showed you. Those are individuals. I don't know why I still have all this in here. I should have taken these pink ones out. This one, I would have to take each individual piece apart, and then you just have one dangle right here with chain. But I love that chain. It's so rusty looking. Pretty. And let's see, these you have to cut. And what else? These are the ones I said I would make into the individual pieces too. This one I said you have to cut up. These wire ones you have to cut up. Oh wait, I want to play with this one. Hold on. Hold up everybody. These are the real sparkly ones. Yes. I like that. I'm just going to break this one. Let's see if it has a loop there. Does it have a loop? So it's just going through the chain. How about that? Interesting. Okay, we'll just cut that. That's what these big old things are for. So now, look at that bad boy. Look at that. Love it. Yeah, those are special, huh? So that would be like, so for instance, you have that. I would take all these individual ones apart. I love this bead right here too. This reminds me back in the day. It's like a sparkly bead. So we got that. These little rhinestoney bits, and then we put it here so you can see. You can see them. Can you see that? Let's make sure you can see it. Okay, hopefully you can see it. It's hard to keep getting up and down looking in the camera view. So here's a little. I think everybody has these little things. There's nothing special about that, but it's just a little cap there. And I already made something with that. Get that out of there. Okay, here's what I was looking for. I threw it over here. This is so fun though. Making jewelry is so fun. Making something out of recycling jewelry. Probably my hands are going to get dirty pulling these beads apart. Let's see. These little crystals right here. I'm just going to cut them. The chain is too thin, but if I could put a bead or something through that, I would keep it together. But of course you can't. Once you cut it, you just have to restring it or put it in. That's pretty though. So that's the little beads that are in between, and then you have the pearl that I showed you there, and then there's some little pearls here, smaller pearls, and then this is another bead cap here. That's a little different bead cap. You have these sparkly bead caps. Man, those are special, aren't they? Love them. Now that's something I would put on a pen or a pokey tool or something, because it's just too pretty. I wonder if that would fit on a pokey tool. I don't know. It might not be big enough, the hole. That would be pretty though. I'm always imagining what I can make with all this stuff. Okay, so there's them. There's those beads there. So I would have to restring all this stuff. They might fit on the... That's a really hard one to get through though. See that? The string won't even go through that. A needle won't go through that. So there's that one. And then let's see, these would just come off the pearls in between. See that? So we could just take any one of them that has a pearl at the top and then just cut it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would only be 4 in between. My allergies are starting to come back. This weather, it's on and off, cold and hot now. So I apologize if my nose is sounding weird. So we have the bigger bead. That's kind of cool. I like this one. We'll take it off right here. We'll have something like that. So this one is just a pearl with these little things, and then there's that. And then these are just individual gold and then the pearl. So that one would have to be like right here. And then you got the pearls here. So you don't want to go too long. All right. So I think you guys get the idea, right? So this one here is different. That one has those, this one has that. But when you put them separately, they almost look like separate little pieces. So there would be 3 pieces in this one, and then there would be this one where you would just undo it anywhere. And then make it like 5 pieces. Or 3 pieces. I do 3 pieces because those other ones are longer. So we do 1, 1, 2, and 3. Let's go 4 because they're tiny. And then we can add a charm to the bottom or a bead. So then we'll have that piece there. So then you have one. Let's put it, do we have another pin? I'm just going to take it off of here to show you. There's that one. Then we have this long one. I always go small, medium, and large. That's how I do it. I didn't do that first though, did I? Small and medium and large. This one I have to close the loop. Again, you have to put something at the bottom because I don't like the loops just sitting there. It's just me, that's how I do it. So there you go, you have something like that. Little dangle. I don't know if I like that so close up like that, but anyway, that's how it looks there. What else? And I think that's about it, you guys. I think the rest of these are, I've already showed you ideas on what to do. This one here, I would just take the pearl and the crystal. This is all tangled now. It's a tangled mess. But I would take this crystal and this pearl right here, like that, individual, like 3 or 5, whatever, and make that into dangles. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed that little haul and seeing some of my ideas on what I would do with these if I do put something together. That's how I would do it. And hope you give it a try if you have jewelry at home, or maybe you have some family heirlooms that you want to play with. It's always fun to play with jewelry and just get it out and start cutting it up. Don't think about it too much. Just cut it up and you will be surprised the things that you can come up with jewelry, and just make it your own and have fun doing it. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon with another video. Bye, everyone.